Hey guys, it's Mario here. I'm at the Plaza de la Virgen in Valencia, Spain. It's a pretty beautiful place. I want to show you guys a little bit around here. There's a lot of people, a lot of tourists as well, making a lot of noise. So if you hear something in this video, that is the reason. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about today on low carb diets, so specifically on the advice that you should cut carbs to lose weight. And that's something that you hear a lot, and we hear that all the time. And we're really not sure, okay, why should we cut carbs to lose weight? What is that based on? What situation does that apply to? And that's something I wanted to clear up in this video once and for all, because there's such strong marketing behind low carb diets and behind the effectiveness of low carb diets that it makes us believe like that's the ultimate approach. And unfortunately, as human beings, we're looking for that one simple ultimate solution. And for that, I guess that's the reason why the marketing is so strong on that, because they are serving you the magic pill. They want you to believe that's the magic pill. So let's keep it objective, let's keep it real, let's keep it based on research. So the research is pretty clear. If you're in a caloric deficit and if you eat high protein, it doesn't matter if you go low carb or low fat in terms of just how much weight you're gonna lose. But here's a but, right? If you're someone who is training, then your carbohydrate intake, it's very wise to base that on your training volume. And I'm assuming that you're a person who is training. If you're watching this channel, you're most likely pursuing some form of physique goal, where your goal is to improve your strength, to improve your lean body mass, and reduce your body fat percentage. So you're not just like a couch potato looking to lose a couple of inches around his waist, right? So for an individual that is training, if you go on a low carb, if you go on a very strict low carb diet, what is gonna happen is usually lower performance, you're gonna feel like shit. Ultimately, what's gonna end up happening is that you're not gonna be able to maintain your lean body mass as good as someone who would be eating that moderate high amount of carbs. And that's a simple fact. You know, we don't have to look very far for research to back that up. Any athlete you look at, not even research, if you just look at all the athletes, if you look at people who are competing in natural bodybuilding, in the Olympic sports, anywhere you look for, you're gonna find clear examples that guys who are interested in performance, who are interested in high training volume per week, who are performing a lot of work, they need carbohydrates to perform that work as an energy source. So aside from that, what is important? Well, look, if you put someone who has no idea about dieting on a low carb diet, so they don't know about tracking, they don't know about macros, they don't know anything, that person will probably lose weight even if they don't do any of this. That's why people are claiming so good benefits on low carb, because it kind of ultimately forces you to be in a caloric deficit. You know, if you cut out a whole food group, obviously, I mean, people will eat less, because that's most of their food that they eat are carbohydrates, like about 50% in an American diet, you know, very high carb. So if you tell people, hey, eat low carb, what's gonna happen is that they will have to replace those foods with something, and they usually go for protein. And that ultimately kind of indirectly forces them to eat more protein, and in the end, they lose weight. But what if you already are tracking your diet, you know that you need to eat high protein, then that low carb doesn't make sense for you, because you can track your macros, you know about your calories, and you know approximately which amounts you should be aiming for. Low carb loses that effectiveness, because there's really no point in going for it. Again, if you're a person who is training, if you're a couch potato, you can probably end up doing like low carb, nothing is gonna happen. But here's another problem, right? Let's say you go on a low carb. Are you gonna do low carb for the rest of your life? Are you gonna eliminate carbs for the rest of your life? I mean, I'm here in Valencia, Spain right now. Every single food that I look at is carbs. You know, everything that I wanna eat is carbs. Most of the food, let's face it, I mean, food that you wanna eat is probably gonna have some carbs. So you can't really eliminate a whole food group for the rest of your life. And that's bringing back the point of sustainability, which makes it very, very unsustainable for most people. And if you're looking at a diet like some short-term kind of fixed solution or whatever, you know, it's not gonna work, because you're gonna give up eventually, and you're gonna give in. And that results in binges and some kind of hardcore eating disorder and things like that. And I've seen it happen with a lot of people. You know, they just end up having an eating disorder because they restricted themselves for months and months and months, and then they go off the rails and they return back gaining even more weight than they lost previously, and they're at a much worse point now, because they're like, oh shit, I tried this dieting thing, it didn't work, and what do I do now? And that's usually the people that approach me for coaching, and that's why I can kind of see, okay, what are the consequences of people who are not investing in educating themselves to manage their calories and macros, but they're just looking for that one simple magical solution, which low carb does promise as like a type of marketing that is behind the approach. Usually will promise that, like intuitive eating, or like eat without any limits as long as you limit your carbs. Like if you stay low carb, or like you can eat whatever you want as long as you're low carb, you're gonna lose weight. Well, you're not gonna fucking lose weight, right? If you're not in a caloric deficit, you're not gonna lose any weight, because what's gonna happen is like, oh hey, you can eat anything. Well, then people are like, oh, cream cheese and a fucking I don't know, like deep fried meat and all these kind of things, and they end up eating a ton of fat and a ton of well, protein as well, but their calories are shooting sky high and they're not losing any weight. Plus, a side note is then if they try to do 4 or 5 sessions in the gym, like very intense training, they don't have the energy to do that. And I mean, you can clearly see the patterns here. I'm not saying low carb is bad, I'm just saying that it's applicable to a certain situation, and that situation would be, let's say, someone who really enjoys eating very high fat, doesn't really enjoy carbs at all, very inactive or moderately inactive, maybe just doing some form of light activity. You can probably get away with low carb, and kind of, I guess it would be easier for you to track your diet if you just simply eliminate a whole food group, you know, like eliminate all the carbs, you know, it's fucking easy to track it. So again, if you bring back to the studies, it's clear, you know, low fat versus low carb, same results if you manage your calories and manage your protein. So keep that in mind, aim for that high protein, because that is the key for you to lose weight. Don't buy into the hype, really look at it very objectively. Carbohydrate intake should be based on your training volume. For most people watching this video, somewhere between moderate high consumption of carbs, anywhere between 150 to 400 grams will be probably the amount that you're gonna be very confident with. You're gonna be able to actually improve your performance and even gain a little bit of muscle mass regardless of the fact that you're in a deficit. You're probably gonna be able to improve your strength levels even in a caloric deficit, which is very important in order for you to maintain that lean body mass and get in that optimal shape while you're getting ripped, while you're reducing your body fat percentage, which is really everything that we want. We want more muscle, less body fat. So why not eat appropriately to reach that goal? So hope you guys enjoyed. I mean, just my 2 cents on the low carb dieting fad and a lot of hype behind it. It's not good or bad. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I just prefer more balanced approaches, and also the enjoyment, you know, you get from having that balanced approach and really knowing your macros and tracking your macros is something that will ultimately yield more happiness, more sustainability, and you will be able to reach your goal and still enjoy many more other things in your life. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts on low carb diets? Have you ever tried a low carb diet? So hit me up in the comments below. Also, if you have any questions, as always, hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button to support the channel. Channel is growing super fucking fast. I want to thank everybody. You guys are awesome. I'm having a blast making these videos for you guys. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Greetings from beautiful Valencia here in Spain. Peace. I feel like 50 Cent on this square. You know, people are stopping, I'm like, yeah, fitness, nutrition, carbs, fats, protein, weight training, exercise, bodybuilding.
Like beautiful mind. And all the numbers around your head.
Yeah.
All the calories around your head.
All the macros.
Yes. All the calories, all the protein, all the fat.